Hello, and thank you for joining us for this lesson on Workbooks CRM. Make sure you check out our free live training webinar class schedule at www.lucidswitch.com/webinar. Also, follow us on Twitter and Facebook for updates on Workbooks, CRM best practices, and new video tutorials.
Right now we're going to talk about setting up email templates, which is a very simple thing to do in Workbooks. Again, we just go to our Start Configuration as we have been doing. Then we're going to go to Templates here, and we can go to My Templates or All Templates. I just like to default to All Templates. I think it's a little easier to do. And then what we can do is we can create a new template. And this time, there's three different ways we can, three different things we can create a template for. There's going to be a simple template, which, doesn't allow us to pull any of the fields that we have into it. So it's just like a standard, email. We've got a mail shot template, which is something that can be used for, with a campaign. And then we've got a specific record type. So this is going to be one of those templates that we create, so we're going to use it over and over again based on a specific type of record. Maybe it's a follow-up email to a sales lead or something like that. So I'm just going to click on a specific record type. Again, here we can choose our record type, just like in most of the other windows that we have when we're trying to do something like this. So I'm going to click on the sales lead description here, and that'll pull up the sales lead. It's going to show me just sort of like a predefined template that's available. I'm going to click on New Blank Template here. And then here, it's going to open up the new sales lead template. It's going to ask us to put in a name of the template. So I'm going to put in, I'll say, initial follow-up email to retail stores. So this is from the ice cream wholesaler again. Now it's going to ask us, do we want this available for email, notes, and Google Docs? So we can actually create templates that are available in specific record types for notes, and also in Google Docs too. So there's a pretty cool Google app integration that we can talk about at some point. Workbooks themselves has a pretty good video on how it works, but you can create templates that are used for that. So I'm going to uncheck Google Docs. I'm going to uncheck Notes because I just want to create this one for an email. And now there's a subject too. So keep in mind that the name of the template is different than the subject. So sometimes I create email templates where the subject and the name are the same just because it's easier, like if we're going to create some sort of script for automation or something like that. But for now, if this is going to be initial follow-up email to retail stores, maybe I'm going to write something like, thank you for your interest in our Uber chocolate ice cream. Maybe this is a series of emails that's going out because they're talking about their Uber chocolate ice cream flavor that they have out or whatever. And then maybe I'm going to add that into here too, just because it makes sense for me to understand this is part of the series. So this checkbox here is allowing signature. So that means that, if I have the signature set up, I can click on that. It's not going to show up in this template here, but what it'll do is it'll add, whatever my default signature is to the end of my template. So that way, the email signature will be there when you send out the record. You'll also see that the status is set to inactive. We can actually click on activate. I don't like to activate it right away because if we do that, what's going to happen is it's going to close out, and then I'm going to click back and open onto it again. So sometimes at this point I'll just hit save, so it's now it's actually created and saved. And you'll see here Workbooks, they like to tell you when you can't leave something blank, whatever, which is a good thing. So you can't just go ahead and start creating stuff. So maybe I'll just put dear so and so, and then I'm just going to hit save here. So the next step is to actually create the different dynamic fields that I need to use. So in this case, I want to actually send it to the person who is the name of the sales lead. So notice here that I'm not going to actually press the space bar, and I'm going to just pick my field. And so basically all you have to do is pick field. So here I can pick the sales lead name. And now I'm not necessarily going to want to do that because if I pick sales lead name, it's not really, I don't really want this to be super formal. So like if the sales lead was, John Doe, it's going to say Dear John Doe. I'd rather have it just say Dear John. So I'm actually just going to pick first name. So I click on the first name, and you'll notice here that we have an @ symbol, first underscore name, @ symbol. So basically what this is saying is pull this field input that value into this email. So this would say, Dear John. Also, you'll notice that it automatically created a space for me. And then what it also does is it's going to create a space afterwards. So you just want to make sure that you hit backspace and then hit your comma there, because it's always going to put a white space before and after the field that you choose. So then you put, some content here, and I'm just going to, for the sake of making this quick, just put thank you for instant or Uber chocolate ice cream. And then, if I wanted to pick any other, any other fields that I have in here, I could just, click on this, and then this is going to, again, pull up, any of the fields that are there. So another thing to note when you're creating, email templates and stuff like that, that are using these types of fields, is that there are some things that are a little tricky to figure out, where different things are coming from. And so you can get to different record types and things of that nature by clicking on some of these items with arrows. Now, in this example, I don't have a real crazy example of something that's going to fall back into something like a different record too far. In this case, see if I've got more columns here. What we've got. So we've got, this is going to be, just some of the basic, like, this is kind of like whoever created it and stuff like that, but wouldn't really want to use that there. So I think maybe the craziest thing I'm going to find here is, well, really, there's nothing too much, but let's see. So I put assign to, I could say users, and then I could put in, some username or employer name or something like that. But you can see how these different, you can keep drilling down into different types of, things. ID is basically an ID for the record type. We don't really have to worry about that. But eventually, I'll just show you kind of what the different fields look like. I'm going to put in an email address. It's going to show the person's email. Once again, I want to hit backspace. I'm going to hit backspace here. And then I'm going to go to my next line. I'm going to say, okay, let's put in, I don't know, number of employees. And so maybe we can make this make a little more sense. So we're going to just say, we understand that you have just so that it makes a little more sense. So I put a couple spaces in there, so our signature will go on the bottom. So basically, this is going to pull the number of employees, and it's going to pull the first name of the lead. So in this case, I'm going to, I can just go ahead and activate it now because I know that it's going to do what I want it to look like, or what I want it to say. And then we're going to see that we've got an initial follow-up email to retail stores regarding Uber Chocolate. So from here, because I'm just setting this up for the first time, you'll also notice what this view looks like, and you'll see that it's only available for email. It's active, not available for notes or Google Docs. It's going to allow the signature, and then also there's a shared link. So that's another thing that I kind of didn't mention. Once you save the email, then you can see the sharing icon. So it looks like a little lock here. So I'd want to click on the sharing icon, and then I can see that it's going to always be available for the owner and the system admin. They're going to have by default all of these different types of permissions. But I can click add rule here, and I'm going to have to share it with other users. So if I want everyone to see it, like it doesn't matter, then I would just click everyone. If I wanted just to switch to myself, another user, there could be any of these users in here. There's admin one. So right now I just want to say let's just let everyone do it just by default, or I could have specific other groups that I've got in there as well. So I'm just going to click on the everyone, and I'm going to click save and close. Oh, and then you've got the read, modify, delete. So basically this means that everyone can read it and use it. Nobody can modify, everyone can't modify it, just the owner and the system admin can modify it. They can't delete it, change owner, change permissions. So I hit save and close, and then if I hit save and close on here as well, we're going to see that it's going to be shared with everyone. So that's going to be, how we see that. But also, because I'm setting up my template for the first time, what I want to do is I want to actually create some filters in here. And I also, that way I'm going to put my default name contains. I like to do that all the time. I'm going to hit view and save. Now, keep in mind, this is under all templates. So I'm going to save that. So now that I've got that, every time I click on all templates. But I also want to group my templates by object type. So object type in this case is basically the record type. So here we've got one for sales lead. We've got I think just pretty much one for everything right now. So I'm going to click on the arrow here, and then I'm going to say group by this field. And this makes it easier for later on, once I start creating like a lot of different templates, that I can actually go into my sales lead, in my meeting or my customer order, and I can see all the different email templates that are created for those specific leads. So that makes it much easier to kind of navigate through the list of different templates that we've created. So I'm just going to pause the recording for a moment. I'm going to create like a test sales lead, and I'm going to show you what that template would look like. Okay, so I've gone ahead and created a sales lead real quick. My sales lead here is Benjamin Franklin. He works for All About the Benjamins. I clicked save, and now I'm going to click on my send email button, and I'm going to see initial follow-up email to retail stores regarding Uber chocolate. Once I click that, it's going to ask me to configure my email account, so I can't actually send that until I configure my email account. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and configured a quick email account, and now I'm just going to click on the send email button, initial follow-up email to retail stores regarding the chocolate. I click on that, and now we're going to actually see that it says, Dear Benjamin, thank you for your interest in our Uber chocolate ice cream. We understand you have 50. So this is, I guess we didn't put employees in the template. So that's okay. So we take a look at it and, oops, oh my gosh, we made a mistake. So we don't actually want to send that out. Or if we wanted to modify that, we could say employees that are interested in selling our Uber chocolate ice cream. So I'm going to just close out of this because I don't actually want to send it. I want to just go ahead and fix it because I like to fix things right away so that I don't have to do it later. So we understand that you have a number of employees, so 50, and I'm going to actually just go ahead and edit this here. And I'm going to say at, and I actually have the organization name here. So now that's the organization name that was in that record, and we notice that I just put that in it. Put the white spaces before and afterwards, and I'm going to actually hit save here. And now once I save it, I can actually, instead of going into the sales lead, I can click on send test email, and I can search for a specific lead that I want to check it with. So I'm just going to type in Benjamin, and I'm going to click on that, and now it's going to actually create the test lead as that person. So we understand you have 50 employees at All About the Benjamins. That was the organization. You're Benjamin. So we're good. So we know that this is going to actually work for us. Now, also, as a side note, if you want to, make sure that this is in your other mail server, you can click on copy me, and that'll send it to, the person that's sending it. So it'll send it to yourself as well. So that's, pretty much, and the nuts and bolts and, how to create a, email template relatively quickly. I'm just going to show you one other quick thing that, you may create a template and say, oh my gosh, it's not in there. So I'm going to create a new template. I'm going to create another one for sales leads. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go to new blank template, and I'm going to click on, I'm just going to create test sales lead template. So I'm going to do this real quick, allow signature, and I make my subject the same, and I also just put that in there for whatever reason. And now I'm just going to go ahead and hit save and close. Okay, great. I've created my template. Yay, I'm all psyched. I want to go ahead and use it. So I go into my All About the Benjamins. You'll notice here that it's not going to be in this list here because I didn't hit save. I hit save. I'm going to go, okay, great. Now I want to go use my template. I go to hit send email. Wait, it's still not in there. Uh-oh, what did I do? Well, you forgot to activate it. So you need to make sure that when you create your template that you've activated it too. So you'll see here that it's inactive. So I want to click on that. I'm going to go ahead and activate it. And now I'm all happy. Yay, guess what? I got my template. But now Mary wants to go ahead and use the email template, and she can't because it hasn't been shared with her. So don't forget to share your email templates as well too. And just one quick recap on that, just click the sharing button, and then you can pick a user group or a specific person. We don't have a Mary in our group, but we do have a Tone, so I'm going to add in Tone as a user, and now Tone can read it. But Tone, he's a pretty good sales guy, and sometimes he's got some things he wants to say, so I'm going to actually allow him to modify that too, so now we can actually edit that template. I'm going to save and close, And I'm just going to, I've already activated it. I can close out of here, hit save and close, a couple different ways to do that. All about the Benjamins, I click send email, it's still not there because I haven't refreshed it yet. Of course, it'll be there from now on. I go ahead and click send email, and now it's there, test lead template. I click on that, and we can see that the email is in for this test lead template. So there we go. And that's it. So keep in mind, if you have any other questions related to any kind of workbooks programming or configuration or consulting, feel free to visit us online at www.lucidswitch.com. Thank you.